The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. Welcome to the offices of Duke & Duke, 100 South Broad Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19147. Folks, we're taking a look here at this FTSE. As you can see here, we've gone up and made a slightly higher high from the ABCD. That's very important. The problem is there was no down move in that BC from the D leg. So this is either a retest of that top or it is going to areas where we haven't seen before. Remember, we're in the midst of all this Brexit stuff that's going on, and the news is hot and heavy everywhere, so we got to be very, very careful if you're trading that FTSE. Well, you got to be careful with everything, of course, but make sure that we're watching it very closely. That's a main thing that we really need to do. I do want to bring to your attention, there's a giant battle going on, folks, and that is in the euro. We've talked about this yesterday through the eyes of the dollar index up at that 97 level. You'll notice here on this daily chart of the euro, you'll see the three drive to a bottom pattern coming in. These are how double tops and double bottoms are formed, folks, with these ABCD patterns. We could be making a double bottom that we made back in November the 12th. That could be very easily do that. We've pointed this out with that dollar index, as critical as it is. So watch this area of 112.10. We got down to 112.50 this morning, and the market turned on a dime. I guess there was some substantial news because the stocks has sold off about 20 handles, and I'm not sure how much farther they're going to go, but at least they've had some type of a correction. It's the first time we've had one in some time. Regarding the gold, I know there's already been two questions this morning regarding the gold. I believe, and I still think we've got a chance to get to this level that we've been watching for a very long time, and that's at that 1298 level. I'll pull this up so you can take a quick look at it. We got down to 1304 this morning and a half. We rallied $10 very, very quickly, $12 very, very quickly, which is exactly what we did yesterday. We rallied $12 and then we sold off. So nothing's really changed here. We're still watching that level of 1298 as something very, very important. But as Mr. Z points out, there's a really strong probability that 1305 could be a very pivotal point. We'll have to watch it closely. Same thing as we're watching in the platinum market. You know, it's had a heck of a big move down there. We went down below the 12. Let's get below, show you this platinum chart. This is not quite up to date because I haven't been able to do that yet this morning, but we did get down below the 792 level. We got down to that 1284 level. So we took out the lows of December, and we haven't gone anywhere. So that's going to be very interesting to watch that one also. Now, I wanted to, I'm not an Elliott wave person at all because, I've had a difficult time, showing all these different price swings and stuff with the ABCDs and all the other thing. But one of our good friends and listeners, daily listener from up in Washington area, was kind enough to send this to me. So if there's any problems, give him a call, 555-555-5555. He'll be happy to answer him. Hold on just one second. His name is Guido. All right, let's take a look at this Elliott wave. The only thing that's important to me, folks, is the very, very top line, not where it says February 13th, but where it says 1.618. And that's what I think is very important. Now, remember, this is the Dow Jones Industrial, and that is this is only a 90-minute chart. So each one of those bars is, an hour and a half. And, we haven't made new highs yet. We haven't made the 78% retracement. But the key thing is we've been up for Holy moly, guacamole, the 26th of December, so we're up 6 weeks without any serious correction, as you can see from this chart. So it is due, as they say in the trade. Now, if you remember from the work that we saw from Tim Bost about a month ago when Tim was on the line, that we'll see. Very good, Marshall. You got me on that one. Okay, let's take a look here at this chart that Tim gave us. We'll be discussing that with Tim Bost tomorrow at Financial Cycles Weekly. He'll be our guest tomorrow. Today, especially, of course, we have Bill Meridian from Cycles Research. Vienna, Austria will be our guest, and he's always entertaining. In fact, all of our guests are. We're pretty lucky to get some of these folks, I think. But you'll notice here that number 5 up there, those are the things that he's looking at from a cycle basis, and he's been right ever since he posted this way back on December the 21st when he was on the show. So I think it's worthy of keeping an eye on it, especially when we got some of these patterns with a very, very overbought situation that we have going on in the markets today. I did want to bring to your attention one other market that is really ripe for a pretty good correction. And that, of course, is the dollar is the dollar yen. We got all the way up to the 111.03 yesterday, folks. They were just 20 pips higher than the 61% retracement at 110.83. We've now sold off somewhat. I guess there was some type of a news announcement that made these markets break as much as they did. I mean, I saw the rally in the euro, so I don't know what the news was, but it was certainly something that had to be there that made these things do that, so I'm not sure. David's going to tell us right now, retail sales. Thank you very much, David. You're the Mr. Google of the internet, my friend. I've never seen anybody that can catch up with the reading like you do. Boy, you and Mr. Z ought to be a team, because maybe you are. I don't know. Anyway, we'll pay attention to that and see what's going on. Now, I wanted to spend just a little bit of time talking about the banking index, folks, because one of the reasons for the major top that we thought was occurring way back on September was the fact that we were having a divergence in the banking index. And you'll notice from the bottom that we made on December the 26th to where we are now, and we have not made new highs. We're back up to this area of 97.50. All that is a 78% retracement of the December 3rd high and a 50% retracement of the high from way back in, well, that goes all the way back to January. So that's a yearly 50% retracement that we had. 26 days without a major sell-off. That's a pretty big thing. So we think that we're probably going to be looking at something on the downside maybe for a couple of weeks in here. Very unusual for the market to be up 6 weeks without any correction. That makes it extreme. But hey, they can go 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. We know that. For very, very good. Anyway, we'll watch this and see what happens. Okay, I like this thing about David is talking about the odds of flipping a coin. That is those are really good. I did my master's degree thesis on the probability of the dice game, and it was quite interesting. That we rolled the dice, I think, 30,000 times to do those picks. This was long before computers, boys and girls. Anyway, we'll take a little break here, and we come back. We want to talk a little bit about this U.S. dollar index. It's very important.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, let's take a look at this dollar index on the daily chart. As you can see here, we've completed that ABCD pattern up here. We're right at the 97 level. Boy, it's getting really close to a major breakout, folks. I mean, really big-time breakout. If we take a look at this on the daily basis, let's switch that over to the weekly. If we look at this on the weekly basis, you'll see that head and shoulders pattern that designated that high at 97.50. That's when the euro was trading at 118.30. And then we backed off to a 61% retracement here back on the November the 19th, the week of the 19th. And now we're ready to break this out to the upside. It certainly looks like it, folks. This has been a very, very bullish chart for a long time. If you'll remember back in 2011, you can see that 3 drive to a bottom pattern that was forming, and Tom O'Brien, our fearless leader, coined the phrase King Dollar, and away it went. And he had most of his folks were in that thing to well into 100, and we got to as high as 102, which was actually 103.50, which was the high of the head, and then the right shoulder you see came in at 97.70. We're almost ready to break that out. It doesn't take much to do it, but the euro is going to have to get below that 112.10 level for this to really break out to the upside. That means that double bottom that we're potentially looking at, could fail, but that's still, real early in the game. I'm not sure exactly, and no one else is either, what's going to happen with it, but we'll keep a close eye. The main thing is, folks, in these stocks, I know they've been straight up for, since December 26th. That was an easy bottom to call. Tops are a whole lot harder to call because they're based on greed. Fear is an easier way to look at things because you have the physical characteristics of fear, with the dryness of the mouth, chalky lips, dilated pupils, all the things that I see in the morning when I shave. So just remember that fear is a greater emotion because it does have physical characteristics. The natural gas. I had an absolute beautiful chart on natural gas, and I don't know what happened to it. I looked at all my things and I cannot find it anywhere. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, but we'll be able to see it at another time. I'm sure it'll pop up someday. I want to bring to your attention here the Bitcoin because we have completed this Gartley pattern here, and today we hear that JP Morgan is moving into the cryptocurrency arena. And whether that'll make the market move or not, it hasn't so far. It's still down on the day. But the fact that, Mr. Diamond and his boys are coming in may or may not mean something. If you'll remember, last December, he thought it was, a bubble, and he didn't think it's for real. Now that it's down 83%, he thinks it's for real. So he was probably right. He's got some great timing people helping him out because he's a pretty smart guy. The fact that he can stay out of jail after paying all those fines means that he ought to be doing something that it's right. That's a key thing, to be watching for sure. Another question someone's asked about the euro. What happens if it goes below 112.10? Well, that just means that double bottom breakout. The dollar will be breaking out to the upside, and you're going to be seeing some huge moves. That's the bottom line. I don't think there's any other way to look at it. But whether that occurs right now or not, we really don't know. But this dollar index. Look at it today, folks. Just this is not a easy one to look at. See, we've got that ABCD structure right there at that 97 level. We're trading a little above it right here. The old high that you had back here was 97.60. So it doesn't take much to get it moving. And that's the whole key to this is that if it pops out of there, it's going to be very, very bullish, to the U.S. dollar. And maybe it's related to the tariffs that are going on with these things, but I don't know. I mean, the grain markets are acting relatively well. The corn has been acting, a little weaker than anything else, but the wheat has been holding up pretty good. And we've had a really nice move in the soybean meal this week. So these things are moving higher, even in face of, the negative news that we see. I love this quote, David. David White just posted something. So one lawyer with a briefcase can steal more than 100 men with guns. You could probably make that 1,000 men with guns. So anyway, that's true. The problem is with white-collar crimes, nobody really goes to jail. They usually give them a fine, and that's about all anybody gets. But someday, maybe there will be. Who knows? We're going to have Bill Meridian on in about 7 minutes, which will be a lot of fun. I wanted to bring this to your attention here on this Hang Seng one more time because we did go substantially above. Yes, but Martha Stewart went to jail because she supposedly lied, but who knows? Ruby's asking, have you ever been challenged by any one of Mr. Diamond's for your technical? No. I have never had any of those people. I've had a few people complain about technical analysis, of course, over the years, but it's pretty well accepted ever since Andrew Lowe wrote his book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street, where he described these patterns, and not just the ones that we look at. He looked at head and shoulders and double, triple bottoms and stuff like that, and knew that they had some type of applicability in trading, and they certainly do. He's proven that empirically. So that's why you're seeing so many charts, down the road. I'm a chartist because I can't understand the fundamentals. Every time the market has to be the most bullish at the top and most bearish at the bottom. Take a look at coffee, folks. I mean, coffee is under tremendous pressure. Just look at it right now. The fact is, I haven't traded in a long time, and I probably won't. But I wanted to bring this to your attention because it looked like last week when we were at 102 that it was ready to break below 100, and it's done that. So it's telling you that there's something not right in the coffee market. Now, whether there'll be a pattern there down the road, we have to wait and see, because right now you can't really do that. Well, I don't know anything about Martha Stewart other than that she lied to the FBI just like everybody else has. So who knows? We'll see. We'll go one thing at a time. Fortunately, if it weren't for our president, there wouldn't be any news at all, because he's the one that they're talking about every day. All right, let's move on to the crude oil, folks. We had that breakout in crude. I wanted to show you. This is not quite updated. This is the frustrating part of cycle analysis. We had that 78% level up there at that 54.80 level. We got to 54.72, and away it went. So we'll see if it's going to mean anything from these levels, but it's going to be quite interesting to see whether we do that. And we will have Bill Meridian on in just a few minutes here. I've got to let him know, and I'll just tell him 4 minutes and we'll be ready to go. And he'll have a great show like he's got a lot of slides for us, and all the good cycle research that he does, and it'll be a whole lot of fun. We've got a break coming up here, and when we do get back, we'll be talking with Bill Meridian, Cycles Research, Vienna, Austria. And he'll probably give us some ideas on oil and the stocks and bonds, and it's been pretty good. So we'll wait and see. It's not 100%, but at least this gives us something to look at that is technical in nature, and we don't have to worry too much about the fundamentals. So that's what we're looking. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened, and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We have Bill Meridian of Cycles Research from Vienna, Austria on the line. Bill, how are you doing?
I'm great, Larry. How are you?
Pretty good. You get a lot of snow over there now?
Oh, we've had very little. It's all been up in the mountains and outside the city.
Okay. You want to go ahead and start? You got a lot of great stuff this morning. I'd like to let the folks in on it. So what do you like to start with?
Well, let me just get it up on the screen. Okay, well, on page 2, we usually, when we get to the end, we run out of time, but there are 2 YouTube channels. Planetary Stock Trading is one, and Mastering Geopolitical Prediction is the other. I've just put up 3 new videos in the last few days, so if you would like to go there and learn more about both, please go to those channels on YouTube. So today, stocks appear to me to be moving higher. I've got, I don't have another strong turning point until the 22nd, and the S&P, well, I don't want to, let me go through the summary and then we'll go through them one by one. Bonds I have falling into the 18th, which implies that stocks would be strong if they're moving inversely. Gold is in a range, and I have likely to rally now with 1350 resistance. I don't think it's getting above there. I still think gold's in a bear market, so it's in a trading range. And we'll look at 2019, we'll look at Venezuela, the Russian investigation, and China. So if we skip down to number 4.
You betcha.
This is the composite cycle for the S&P 500, and I use this for the shorter term timing. The Dow from 1885 works better for longer term timing, but we don't come up to a sell signal here until the end of the month on the monthly. And then if you drop down one more slide, Larry, we have the weekly, and we can see that the weekly is actually on a sell, which is failing. Now, if you look back all the way to the left, there's a green buy line that was successful, a red sell line that was successful, a green buy line that was, now you have a red sell signal. And the market, I expect, is going to be off today and tomorrow. And I don't think that's a major deal because next week we get another buy signal. When do we get it? We get it at the end of the month when the end of the month string cycle kicks in. So we don't actually, with the weekly, you don't get a sell signal until the end of March. So I think the S&P is okay. And if you go to the S&P daily, so first we look at the cycles, then I look at the regular technicals to see if I can confirm the cycles. And of course, they all don't always point in the same direction, as you know, Larry, and so you wind up with these largely in gray areas where you have to value one set of signals over another. So here, I didn't put the Fibonacci retracement levels in, but we had what looked like a rising wedge. Because the cycles were pointing up, I disregarded the rising wedge. We had a little break below the low point, and then it popped up through the downtrend line. Well, now, it just surpassed the 61.8% retracement level, which suggests it's going to go all the way back up to that old high at 2950. So that is how the technicals work with the cycles. And now if we go down one more, we'll switch over to the bond market.
Okay, just give me 1 second here, and we'll. I've got it up here. That's number 7, correct, Bill?
That is it.
Okay.
Now the bond market gave a buy signal, a sell signal, which came a little late, but it trends down into the first week in March. Now, the first thing I do after I look at the weekly is we go down to number 8, and we check the monthly. Well, it looks about the same. It gave a sell signal and actually rallied, and it is going to give a buy signal here around the 18th, which is when I also have a projected. Is that the 18th? Yeah, 18th, 20th. So I would suggest that bonds are declining into the 18th, 20th. And remember, I have a projected sell signal on stocks for the 22nd. So these two dovetail. So one confirms the other.
Oh,
occasionally they all line up, as you know, but not always. And so if you go down one more, here are the projected note turning points. They were the first, the 11th. The 11th turned out to be a high. So I'm expecting the 18th to be a low. And the 28th is probably another high. And this is done in, the best reference for this is from my old friend Bob Miner, Dynamic Trading. We started doing our own software around the same time. And I first learned this from George Lindsay around 1972 or 73. back in Greenwich Village in New York when he said, well, next Thursday is 180 degrees from the old high and 90 degrees from the low. And of course, being fresh out of graduate school and not knowing how markets worked, I said, what does that have to do with anything? So these are clusters. These dates on the 11th, there is a cluster of projections from former highs and lows as there is on the 18th, the 1st, and the 28th. That's how it works. And sometimes all of these things line up perfectly. The cycle tops on the same day that the projected turning point occurs. Other times they don't, and you have to hassle. So that is how the bond market looks. So now if we just go down one more to gold. You have gold up, number 10?
Page 10. Yes, sir.
Well, this is from 1968 to the present. It's 51 years. And you'll notice these are bars represent expected return. In other words, the probability that the market moves up in that month multiplied times the change. So in other words, if it's got a 60% chance of going up 2%, then you're going to show 1.2% as a histogram. And you can see that right now we came out of January, which has historically been a strong month, February a pretty good month, and March is the weakest month. So the seasonality, the headwind is now blowing against gold. So let's go down one more.
Okay.
And we see the weekly gold cycle. Now here's where we get a conflict. We see that the cycle is pointing up, and it just gave a buy signal. You see the little green line, gold bounced up. So now you have the seasonal cycle pointing down, the weekly cycle pointing up. And so hopefully you get a tiebreaker when you go to the monthly. And in the monthly, we get a buy signal here in about a week. So after, you'll note that the monthly then turns down on March 7th. So my guess is right now with the weekly pointing up, the seasonality is still okay for February, and the monthly bottoming, I imagine that period from the 22nd through about March 5th is going to be a bullish period, but I don't think it'll get above 1350. I think it's seasonally you're in the weak half of the year. So very short term, I'm bullish, and I think we get another up thrust the 22nd through the 5th of March or so. So that takes care of markets. I haven't got anything on oil here, but the strongest months for oil are March and April. And the cycles analysis I just did, the weekly cycle points up, the monthly cycle points up, and you're going into March, April. So I think oil is, I have a double long oil ETF in my own portfolio to show you how much I believe in that uptrend. And,
Bill,
yeah.
Was when you met, George Lindsay, he was a pretty colorful character, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was on, I know he was on the Ruckhiser show a few times, and of course he was friends with Art, and you and Art are friends too. So he died on the top of the stock market on August 25th, 1987. I watched
that.
Yeah, it sure did. Yes, can you stay with us for another segment,
Sure
Bill?
can. Yep.
Okay, Bill Meridian, Cycles Research. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Bill Meridian, Cycles Research. Bill, you want to talk? Yes, sir.
George Lindsay, I was at a meeting, SIRE, Society for the Investigation of Recurring Events, which is the New York City offshoot of the old Foundation for the Study of Cycles. And George comes over and says, would you like to share a taxi down to the village? And if you never met George, he wore eyeglasses that were thicker than those worn by Roy Orbison, the late singer. And so when you look directly at him, his eyes look huge. He looked like the bug man from Mars. And we used to go down to the Peacock Cafe, and I lived about 2 blocks from him, and let's have an espresso. So we'd go in, and then he started appearing on Wall Street Week. So we walked into the cafe, and heads turned because they recognized him. And so we got ready to leave. George puts his hat and his coat on, and the waiter says, by the way, Mr. Lindsay, with 2 other people who worked the cafe, they said, we saw you on Wall Street Week, and you said the market was going to go up. You were quite right. So now, do you think it'll go up, or do you think it'll go down? And George thought for a minute, and he said, yes. And he put his hat on and left the cafe. That's the George Lindsay story.
Hey, someone's asking a question, Bill. A good friend Basil Chapman's asking, but what is the domed house? That was the final peak. Is that what that was?
Yeah. Well,
on the 3 peaks in the domed house?
George was an artist, and when he was 28, his mom got sick, so he told me he had to go out to California to care for her. And he said, I needed some way to some job where I didn't need to work a lot of hours. And, I never got up before noon, and I stopped work at 4 o'clock. And so he relied on pattern perception. So that's where he came up with that. And George's work, somebody wrote a book, I forget his name, he's out in Seattle, about Lindsay's techniques. And as Arch and I used to say, it works great if George was there to explain it to you. And so, George, how do you start the middle count from the range? You started here or here? He said, well, that's a good question. I started here. So it was very, very subjective. But yes, the 3 peaks in the domed house was the end of a bull move.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Yeah, he was really an incredible guy. Jerry Favors worked on it for quite a while. Then Jerry died of a heart attack, back in early 90, and he was only a young man. I think he was 39 or something when he died.
Jerry came and visited me when I worked at Payne Webber, and I tried to arrange a meeting between Jerry and George, but Jerry had to leave town too soon, so I never got to meet him.
Yeah, he was a really super nice fellow. Okay, let's move on to this Venezuela. What's going on down there, buddy?
Well, let me just say, I have a book, Mastering Geopolitical Prediction, and I say in it, number one, you've got to build up a database. So, of course, Venezuela is in it because it's a country. And the most important point, according to Charles Jane, in any mundane chart, which is a chart of a country or a politician, is the sun. And so we have eclipses this year, 15 Capricorn, which was in January, 10 Cancer coming up. So if I run a scan for the eclipse point hitting the sun, either conjunct or opposite, with an orb of 5 degrees, just to explain how you get to this point. And so what does it kick out but Venezuela? So where was the last eclipse in January? But it was 15 Capricorn, which is opposite this 13 Cancer sun. So that eclipse is opposite your sun. It's like getting run into on a soccer field and knocked down. You get reduced in stature. Your reputation gets knocked down. You have a lot of difficulty, which is where Venezuela is right now. Mm-hmm. And I should also point out, Neptune is moving over Pluto at 18 Pisces. That's going to continue. That hasn't even started yet. And to me, that's a restructuring of their debt and their energy industry. So you're far from out of the woods here. But if you go down one more, and this is something, I have a chapter on the book. This is a horoscope of the beginning of diplomatic relations between the two countries, USA, Venezuela, June 30th, 1875. All these dates on the State Department website. Where's the sun here? 8 degrees Cancer. Where was it in the other chart? 13 degrees Cancer. So this gets picked up by the scan also. So the last eclipse was actually too widely opposite the sun to be considered, but we've got an eclipse coming up at 10 Cancer. So 10 Cancer will be conjunct the sun in both of these charts. And that chart is in a very favorable, in other words, the 10 Cancer eclipse in July is very favorable on its own. So that suggests that things are going to start improving and that the USA is going to have a major say in that, in bringing the country back from the brink. So it's more or less in a bear market as a country until July. Mm-hmm. And it suggests to me that somehow the U.S. is going to get more involved. They're going to start restructuring the debt. Confidence will begin returning. But I went through the horoscopes of Maduro and the Juan Guaido, who's claiming to be president, and it doesn't show either one of them. It doesn't show Maduro is losing his job or Guaido rising to the presidency. So I think the leadership is going to remain quite confused and muddled for some time after that. But I think the IMF and the bigger countries, the more developed countries, are going to move in here, and that will be in the news in July.
Wow. Okay, you want to talk to us about Russia a little bit?
Yeah, well, I'm listening to web radio the other day, and the guy's giving the history of the Russia investigation. And he said on July 5th, 2016, Comey concluded the Hillary investigation, but this guy goes in, I forget which one of the people it was in the FBI, whether it was Strzok, or went into the a London office and said that I have evidence that Russia was involved somehow in throwing the election for Trump. So this is a horoscope set for that time. Larry, where's the sun? 14 Cancer. So this eclipse scan that I picked up this chart too, but I never paid much attention to it. So the eclipse that just occurred is on Pluto opposite the sun. So this is even more powerful. And the eclipse that occurred in January was very strongly, had a flavor of Saturn and Pluto, which is cutting things back, reducing things, and they shut the government for a time. So to me, this indicates that investigation is shut down because 2 or 3 days ago, the Senate Investigating Committee announced that they could find no evidence of any Russian collusion. So essentially, this tells me that this is now a dead issue, and the horoscope, you don't hear about it in the major networks, but the horoscope here reflects that. And if you take a deep look at this, now 1314 Cancer, Charles Jane called that was the invariable plane discovered by the French astronomer Laplace. And if you have a planet there, then you feel like you're caught between opposing forces, and it's got to do with the balance of the universe and balance of the world. So this certainly, and the USA sun is right there. It's 14 degrees Cancer. So as long as this chart was active, it was upsetting very much the global influence of the U.S. or the global view of our government. But it now appears that this is over. But because there will be an eclipse in July at 10 Cancer, it falls right on the Sun Mercury. So there's probably going to be somebody's going to claim to have some more evidence, or they're going to launch another investigation starting in July. But I think this is largely over.
Wow. Do you think he'll be impeached?
Well, no, I already said that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
In a past show, and in fact, I pointed out, I think it was on your show and in my writings that, and on this YouTube channel, that his horoscope looks unbelievably favorably aspected into March, and March is sort of a peak month for him. After that, it returns to more normal. So I don't think that they have any. I think they've given up on this impeachment. They're just starting a new round of investigations just to keep the ball in the air up until the election.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
To sell something now.
Oh yeah, we have to sell something. You got to pay a few bills. That's for sure.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're on with Bill Meridian. Bill, can we talk about this panic cycle and then tell the folks how they could reach you and buy some of your books and stuff?
Well, the panic cycle, I spent 14 years as a fund manager at the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is one of the largest funds in the world, and everybody in the universe came through, and you can't predict the future. You can't. I said, look, guys, at least if you do some study on a subject, you have some idea, like the seasonal cycle of the year. We know that October is usually the weakest month. At least it tells you that much. at least it tells you what the distribution of events is. So here in Vienna, we have the Kino Circle, which is a group of futurists. John Casti, who is a professor of mathematics, has written 16 books as part of it, as is the author of Megatrends, John Naisbitt, who lives here in Vienna. And so I said, well, what about panics? He wrote a book called X Events, when these very big cataclysmic events. I said, well, John, write down a list of them and look at what the distribution is. Do they occur in certain years, in certain centuries, and certain days of the week? So I sat down to create the panic cycle. I started in 1600, and I noted each year with a binary language. 1 meant it was a normal year, 2 meant it was a panic year. Now, a panic month, I should say. And of course, most months are regular months. And if I had to draw up a bunch of rules, like, some books will say there was a panic and they don't say what the month was. Well, I look at the currency and see if the currency declined sharply, I count that as a panic month. I then put that into a cycles program, and this is Richard Mogey's program, by the way, and the red line is the panic cycle of the last time I ran it anyway, and I read it this way. When it is rising, it means people are very quick to panic for some reason. I don't know why, whether they all went out and saw a horror movie the night before, or they're nervous about the State of the Union speech, and to be really serious, it's got to get up to 2.5 or 3. That's where it was during the 1929 to 30. Since I've constructed it, it hit a peak during the Greek episode, and I said, well, the Greek episode's not going to get any worse, and I was right. And Cyprus, the same thing. And here you see it peaking in September 2020.
Bill, thank you very much, my friend. We're going to have to pay a few bills again. So.
BillMeridian.com is where you can reach me and get the books.
May God bless, Bill. All the best to you and your wife.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.